When I heard her say that, the system is broken, and she wants to take a step back from the system. Her whole career has been the system. I just don't see.
It made no sense.
Her whole career has been the system. I just don't see how now, she's going to take a step back away from the system. But I do think that, her mentality of wanting to go out there and saying, I want to be more of a public servant and actually, be on the ground, meeting people, shaking their hands, looking them in the eyes, talking to them. I think that will have more of an impact than people think. I saw people saying that, she wouldn't make a good surrogate because, she's unpopular, and I'm putting unpopular in air quotes. Yeah, I mean, she got the second most votes of any Democratic nominee in a presidential election ever. Now, I don't know, what that personally means, especially when the first one was Joe Biden, but if you got that many people who went out there and voted for you, then she clearly has some type of cachet that she probably could use to help other individuals win elections.
Right.
I don't know what happens for her in 2028 as far as the Democratic primary and things like that. Because I think you know where her biggest opposition will come from, Stephen A?
What? Where?
The Democratic Party.
Yep.
Because you got so many people in the Democratic Party who didn't want her when she ran for the 107 days. You think they're going to want her in 2028?
Right. Which is the latest reason why I don't think she'd have a snowball's chance in hell of winning. I'm not saying that she couldn't be a surrogate, go out there and campaign, give speeches, assist, but she can't be the candidate. And now again, we got to remind her she couldn't make it to Iowa in 2020, and in 2024 she bypassed the primaries. We all know that. Obviously, Joe Biden had everything to do with that because he didn't step away as early as he should have, and we get that part. But in the end, the popularity was a question mark, and just like she went on The View, and she said when Sonny Austin asked her, is there anything that you would do differently? And she said, no, I can't think of any. This was another example when they asked her the other day about her stepping away, and she's like, I want to step back from it. The system is broken. You're a career politician. You've been there practically all your life. You've been an attorney, a state attorney general. You've been a prosecutor. You've been a senator. You've been a vice president. My God, you've been a part of it. And now you're saying it's broken. That means you couldn't do but so much to fix it when you was in it. So how are we going to believe
the system was
that
broken long?
Do that now? It's long before.
Yeah, the system was broken long before Donald Trump,
That's right.
got into office.
Next.
Man, the worst thing about these two guys is all they do is repeat what they hear us say. That's it. They just regurgitate other lines that they stole from other people. And it's so obvious because anybody out here who makes content knows the New Black Media has been saying this for about, maybe 4 years now. And depending on what platform they're on and what time of day it is, they'll come in with a whole different point of view. Charlamagne was just on YouTube and was just on Fox News trashing Trump in protecting Kamala. Then that didn't go so well, so now he's on Stephen A. Smith praising Kamala, even though she sucks after he says she's an idiot. Then he defends her. Then Stephen A. says she could be a surrogate, but she sucks, but Joe Biden's fault. Everything is a triangulation. Everything is be against it while you're for it, while you oppose it, while you support it. And it's what hacks do, because at the end of the day, all it's about is maintaining your own visibility and relevancy. They don't have any original thoughts. Stephen A. Smith never has an original take on anything. It's just a regurgitation of someone else. Charlamagne does not have original thoughts. That's why he's always hanging out with Angela Rye, so that he could pretend to have a point of view. And then when he gets into dangerous waters, he can look over to her, and she can nod to him to shut up or keep going or whatever. Kamala Harris. Anybody who believes Kamala Harris is a talented politician doesn't know what talented politicians are. She just wasn't. She hasn't truly won anything since the Senate. Okay? That's it. And she is a person who has risen beyond her effectiveness. And I question if she was an effective senator. I don't think she was. What she was is a person who read lines correctly against Jeff Sessions that were prepared for her by her staff. I don't even think that Kamala wrote the lines that she said. Only thing I agree with is that the facts as far as the historical record is she was dropped out. She had to drop out and she was gifted. Kamala Harris has been gifted so much as a politician. She she should be happy and thankful for being able to hustle her. She should be thankful that she's been able to do what she's done up to this point. To me, she hasn't earned anything. Joe Biden made her vice president. I don't know why he did that, other than to protect himself, knowing she had no chance to succeed him. She could not overshadow him because she has no political chops. Word on the street is, and I've heard this from other reporters, just today was watching a video. They were explaining that the Biden campaign had so much dirt on Kamala Harris. That's why she really can't talk about negatively about Biden, because the Biden team said they would unleash negative stories about her, which would destroy her career. Because what did she do when she was vice president? What did she really get done? Anything, people? What'd she really do? What was she in charge of? What was she doing for 4 years? You understand what I'm saying? And there are people, and I'm sorry, man, if you're a person that's particularly a black woman that's living through the accomplishments of Kamala Harris, be happy she was vice president. That's enough. That's further than she should be. I'm no Obama fan, but if we're comparing ability, or we're comparing talent, does she really seem like Scottie Pippen to him, Michael Jordan? I mean, think about what I'm saying here. Is she really on the level of a Bill Clinton? I know you want to defend her because she's a woman and because she's Indian. But I'm just saying, does she have the characteristics, the natural ability, like a Trump, to get up and make up shit? I mean, I'm just saying, let's be real for a second here. Yeah, we're going to go for bonus. I don't have that many stories, and I feel comfortable. This is something I could talk about for an hour, but I won't. See, Charlamagne and Stephen A. Smith can't keep it real. When you start looking at political candidates, when you start looking at what people brought to the table, Johnson, compare Kamala Harris to Trump. Does she have people that would follow her? Trump famously said, I could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue in broad daylight and they'd still support me. Are there people that feel that way about Kamala? No, I'm just asking. We're not talking about your personal, you don't like the guy, fine. We're talking about people that do like him. Okay? He won his nomination 3 times in a row, Johnson. Kamala hasn't won a single nomination at all. She was picked to be VP, and then she was anointed to be the Democratic nominee. You know, that's not how it's supposed to work, right? You do understand that you're supposed to be chosen by the people. Now, man, she's been gifted positions. She was, and this is why she sucks. See, you're supposed to earn it. So that when you earn it, when you go through the hard knocks of having to build it, to create it, to suffer through it, to grow through it, you learn things. Kamala, on the other hand, had it gifted to her, so she didn't learn anything. She can't talk on her feet. She can't even do interviews without CBS doctoring the footage to try to save her from embarrassment. She is no Bill Clinton. Hell, she's not even a George W. Bush. How could you not be a George W. Bush? Do you think she would have been able to duck the shoes if they threw a George W.? I mean, here. You think she would have done that? No. Boop, right in the head. What is that? Who hit me? Boop, right, another head, another shoe, shoe to the face, shoe to the face. And I think some of you are living in la-la land, man. You're delusional. You're leading. Look, we're going to have to start thinking with our brains and feeling with our hearts, but thinking with our brains instead of thinking with our hearts. So we're going to have to start doing here. Charlamagne the God, I think it should be against the law for you to have any criticism of her after you shoved her down our throat for 4 years. You were part of the shoving her down the throat. You were the one with the softball-ass interviews. You bringing her on the Breakfast Club, overlooking her glaring flaws. You, dear Hughley, all of y'all, you guys sold the black community out for this Indian Jamaican woman. And then when she lost, you want to blame everything else except her. The Democrats did not want her because she sucks. They knew she would lose. That's why, Johnson. They would have wanted a winner, Johnson. They would have wanted a winner. Who doesn't want? They wanted to win. She had $2 billion. $2 billion. All we hear you guys talk about is how much money Elon Musk gave Trump. He didn't give him $2 billion. Kamala Harris had $2 billion. And she spent it giving it to her friends like Roland Martin, Al Sharpton, and Oprah Winfrey. And then what happened? She got her ass roasted and she lost every swing state. Every swing state. You're going to blame the Democrats for her losing every swing state? Every swing state, Johnson? Really? It's never been done before. She has historical losses. And the best you guys could do is the two of you, the two brain trusts of Stephen A. Smith and Charlamagne the fraud, is to come up here and say, basically, it's because the Democrats didn't get behind her. They didn't get behind her because no one wants to back a loser. And then all of the money out the party was siphoned out. And she hooked up her friends so later maybe she would be able to call in favors. Basically, it was payola. It was soft bribes is what it was. So no, she's not going to be running in 2028. Just like she's not running for the governor's race in California. Why? Because she would lose. Everyone knows she would lose. The only people that are dim enough to think it's something else because she's tired. She wants to get away. The system's broke. Yeah, but neither one of these guys would say the truth. She would get beat like a drum. She would get destroyed. It's the same reason why she dropped out of the race in 2020 for the Democratic nomination, because she was about to get destroyed in California. Bernie was going to beat her in her own state. And if she would have lost that, she never would have been vice president. She made the calculation that she was going to get destroyed in California. So she got out the race before Iowa because she was about to lose. And that kept her hopes alive. The best thing that would have happened, it could have possibly happened before Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her, by just saying things that we've all been saying for years. Tulsi Gabbard, by the way, guys, Tulsi Gabbard, when she destroyed Kamala Harris in those debates, the Democratic debates in 2019, those are things that we had all been saying for a couple of years. She just had an opportunity to say them on the world stage. I know I was saying them in 2017, 2018, 2019. These are things we were saying when we were looking her up. And I'm convinced someone was talking to her through her earpiece. I believe she had an earpiece in her head, man. I want as many primary votes as Kamala did her first time when she ran for the nomination. You know that, right? I didn't win any, but I didn't spend any money running. She ran and she didn't win any. And then she left the race. And she's doing the same thing again. And the media is giving her a pass. The media is letting her lie and say she's not running because she's tired of politics, because it's too divisive and the system's broke. Now your chances of winning are broke. Your head is broke. Charlamagne the guy, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. Stop lying all the time. Stephen A. Smith. I'm still waiting for you to come on the show, Stephen A. I'm still waiting for you to come through. Come through, Stephen. We've been talking to your people, man, for weeks. He's so busy. He's on vacation. He's okay. It's because you don't want a real conversation, but you'll talk to Candace Owens, though. Yeah, you'll talk to her twice. Once you come on a black media platform where someone's not going to kiss your ass, not going to lie, not going to let you get loud and say a bunch of nothing, but your prepared lines, like you did on The View. Come on, Johnson. Neither one of you. All right, let's keep going, Johnson. Hey, man, it is what it is. We got to be honest, man. We got to be honest. And this is part of the problem. There are some of us in the black community that fall for Charlamagne and God and fall for Stephen A. Smith. Now, I understand for Stephen A., he's got a white audience that eats this stuff up. As long as he says something semi-positive about Trump, they clap for him. But know this, man. Black America, we need better than Stephen A. and Charlamagne. This is a joke. No one takes them seriously. Everyone knows Charlamagne is just a platform that gets a lot of young black people who don't know what's going on. And he could tell them any old bullshit. That's what they use him for. They cart him out to carry the water for the Democratic Party. That's all it is. We need better than that. We need better than that. That's all.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.